100. Pump up your performance.
The Volkswagen National Rally. The South African rally drivers arrived in George last weekend to continue their fight for championship points. Championship leader Jan Habich and his privately entered Volkswagen Golf Synchro arrived here intent on securing more championship points as the season passes the halfway mark.
Our main aim would be to first of all finish the event and then hopefully in the first place.
Now your car, you are privateer, and I know it's difficult, you've got to keep the thing running and that. You're confident that the car is going to make it to the end? You've had a good run so far this year.
No, we've been very careful with it. You know, it's very easy to overstress the vehicle, but I think if we treat it carefully, it should get to the end.
Now the event itself, Serge has won it 2 years in a row. Is that a bad omen, or do you think you can change all that?
We'll definitely try and change it.
Serge Damso and Hannes Grobler each have 57 points, 31 points behind Habich. Both intend to pull the reins on Habich before the points gap becomes an impossible target.
We're very glad to be in the points position we are at the moment, and we hope we can increase it on this time. Habich, I think, is leading at the moment, and we don't want him to get too far in front.
Serge, Habich's almost getting away in the championship at this stage. You obviously want to stall that now.
Oh, I mean, we can't just leave him run away with it. We'll give him a good go, and Jan is always a good finisher, and that's the threatened part of the whole thing. You know, he managed to get to the end always. We'll have to see what we can do.
Rally cars blend in with the mid-morning traffic as they make their way to stage 1 on the outskirts of George. The Volkswagen Rally starts with 2 sprint stages situated close to George. From there, the stages move on to the forest roads, where conditions are expected to be damp as the roads lead the cars towards Neisner for a servicing regroup. Jan Habich and Douglas Judd lead the 40-strong field into stage 1. Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson second on the road and confident after their Sasol Rally win. Drawn third and desperate to improve their lot are Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide in the Class A Conquest 4-wheel drive. A first and a third is all they can boast for the season thus far. The privately entered team of Hannes Grobler and Martin Botha intent on doing well on the event that has eluded them a victory over the past years. Hannes spun the Sentra in the stage, losing 19 valuable seconds to Enzo Kuhn, who won the stage in a time of 1 minute 27 seconds.
10 seconds.
On to stage 2 for the second tar section and a chance to ride with Jan Habich and Douglas Judd.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. 290 right. 190 right. And T right 100. T right. 90 left, slip. 90 left. And 190 left. 90 left.
The Volkswagen Golf crew complete the 2.26 kilometer stage in a time of 1 minute and 39 seconds, which places them third on the scoreboard and 5 seconds off the pace. Having won the first stage, Enzo is forced to slow on stage 2 as the Ford picks up a misfire. The crew lose 3 seconds and drop a place to Serge Damso. Drawn in amongst the Class A big guns, Leon Botha will be desperate to do well on this event, ahead of some healthy Class B and C competition.
I'm going to try and take it a little bit easier. We've had a few problems this year, and I've got to finish this rally. Finish the Sasol Rally, as you know, to be disqualified. So we were a bit unlucky this year. I'm going to try and get some points in this rally. It is the Volkswagen International. Very important for me to finish. So that's the strategy. We're going to try and do that. The cars to start worrying about is the Class C cars. They are getting very, very well developed. And the youngsters are getting quick.
Leading the Class C pack, Glenn Durman and Dave Lebkowitz in their Radio Units Conquest. Also driving a Class C Conquest are Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley, who will be hoping to do well on this event after a slow start to the 1994 season. Championship leaders in Class C are Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding, who failed to finish the Sasol Rally and lose valuable seconds spinning out in stage 2. The time lost in the stage drops the crew down to 22nd place on the scoreboard. The slick racing tyres are replaced with chunky off-road rubber as the stages move to dirt roads and the forests. The Golf Synchro of Habich and Judd is late, giving Enzo and Guy the advantage of leading their fellow Class A crews into the section. Now second on the road, but leading on the scoreboard, Serge and Vito on their way to yet another stage win and an extra 5 seconds over the Sasol Ford Laser. Serge and Vito complete the 14.26 kilometre stage in a time of 7 minutes and 4 seconds. Habich's Golf appears a broken throttle cable, the cause of their delay. A full 3 minutes are lost to the leaders and drop the Volkswagen team down to 30th place on the scoreboard. Hannes Grobler has pulled himself back to 8th place after stage 2 and will finish stage 3 in 3rd place, 28 seconds behind Serge. Buerter and Fourie with little competition in Class B after Brady Dabner hit a curb on stage 1 and fell back to 31st position. Cunha and Rouliard in the 2nd Bank Vincentra. Tony Ball's Class B Golf broke a drive shaft in the stage, slowing the vehicle to a crawl as they made their way through the section. Lawrence and Paisley now very much part of the emerging Class C battle. Trying hard to make up on lost time, Chart and Cindy have their hands full with all the competition around them. Very much a part of that competition are the local crew of Keith Coleman and Irma Kurzer, currently in 10th place overall, looking steady on the gravel roads. Leading the Class C cars but running well down in the field, Glenn Derman and Dave Levkowitz on their way to the first regroup. Completing the Class C dice are Mitrovic and Burrows in their Jimco Volkswagen Golf. Brand and Reeler lead Johnson and Pretorius in the fight for Class D honours. As the cars reach the Neisner regroup, all welcome the extended service time, so badly needed after the 3 forest stages. The rally forms part of the Neisner Festival, but the carnival atmosphere is lost to the service crews, who are under pressure to repair the many damaged suspension parts. Habich and Judd have worked their way back to 13th place after their disastrous stage 3. They remain 4.5 minutes behind the leaders, Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide, who themselves have handling and brake problems. Now leading on the road, after the regroup, Serge powers the conquest into the Neisner town stage.
400 straight into a T right.
Enzo and Guy move into the starting blocks as Serge completes lap 1. Only 18 seconds separate the Toyota and the Ford. The Toyota crew lose a few seconds with a spin on the far side of the stage. The gap narrows.
5, stand by.
Enzo's right foot hits the floorboards and the Ford leaps forward into stage 6. We join the team inside their car thanks to our multi-car cam unit.
100, T right, right 4. 100, turn off, right again. 100 right. Square right. Right 4. 300, keep straight up the hill. Keep to the right. Keep to the right. Into 100, U right. 400, T right, 300, T right, 200, 100, T right, square right, 100, turn off, square right, square right. Now keep to the left, keep to the left, keep to the left and turn off left, stand by. Okay, that's it, whoa, left now. Okay, whoa.
Enzo posts a time of 1 minute and 2 seconds, which only Hannes Grobler was able to match and thereby tie the stage. 3 more stages remain for the day, but it's back to the forest roads and they're expected to be rough. Serge fails to enter stage 7 on time, so Enzo and Guy once again lead into the stage. Stage 7 has a significant effect on the rally, with some of the competitors suffering terminal damage on the stage. Behind the Ford are Nuno de Cunha and Paul Rouliard in the second of the Bank Centras. Nuno's car breaks a throttle cable and then later suffers a flat tyre. Nuno soon has his teammate Hannes Grobler on his tail, almost hooting to overtake. A miscalculation on the damp soil and Sentra number 6 is in trouble. Hannes himself had already spun his Sentra in the stage, losing a good few seconds in the process. Serge and Vito enter the stage fourth, their extra service time well spent in getting the Conquest suspension correctly set up for the rough gravel roads. Unfortunately, the Toyota is forced to retire after the stage with damaged suspension and a broken oil pipe, promoting Enzo and Guy into the lead. Haubich and Judd are still 11th and running well down the field. The Volkswagen crew have a clear run on the stage and, despite a few hair-raising moments, post the fastest time. Unfortunately for them, the stage was later cancelled. On to stage 9 and a chance to look at the classes down the field. Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley currently lead Class C and, with stage 7 cancelled, have pulled themselves up to a creditable 4th place overall. The radio unit's Conquest has suffered with a misfire since the start of the rally, a fault the team fails to get right. Ahead of them on the scoreboard by just 2 places, Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding still very much a part of the Class C battle. With Brand and Rieler out of the rally after stage 5, Johnson and Pretorius continue almost unchallenged in Class D. The rally crews have a regroup and service stop at Plettenberg Bay. The leading Ford stands unattended, their service crew missing from the scene.
At this moment, all I know is that one of the vans, the very big vans, actually rolled coming down the Tarmac Mountain Pass, and I believe it's flattened a shack, and I believe quite a few people have been hurt, but that's all I know at the moment.
With their own car retired from the rally, the Toyota crew, in a great show of sportsmanship, begin working on the Ford. They cannot, however, replace the badly damaged front suspension struts needed for the remaining second-day stages. The scoreboard after 9 stages shows the Ford team 59 seconds ahead of Grobler and Buerta. Haubich and Judd are third, over 4 minutes behind the leaders. Lawrence and Paisley are 4th overall and way ahead of their Class C competition. Enzo and Guy may lead the rally, but they have a great deal of work to do before starting day 2.
Well, yesterday was, we had a few very rough stages, so the car's taken a lot of beating and quite a bit of damage to the car. Front drivetrain is seriously damaged. And then, of course, last night we had an hour before the regroup to repair these faults to the car. My crew, unfortunately, then went down the mountain and I lost out on that hour of free service. So we're now trying to repair all the damage in about 10 minutes. And then we'll have to race to the first stage because we're actually using up our lateness time at the moment.
As the Golf Synchro starts stage 11, let's look at what lies ahead on section 3. The day started with a sprint up the old Blokrans Pass, after which some very rough forest stages await the competitors. The rally later crosses the Storms River, eventually ending at Jeffreys Bay for a break. The second-place Nissan of Hannes Grobler and Martin Buerta enter stage 11. Their minds set on taking the lead from Enzo and Guy. We join the Nissan crew in car and get to witness just how rough the forest roads are.
200 slot right. 100 slot right. Slippery. Slot right.
Hannes holds nothing back. The fight for the lead now a serious one. The Nissan emerges unscathed and intact, posting a winning time of 13 minutes and 38 seconds. The Ford, on the other hand, suffers 2 punctures on the stage and loses over 2 minutes and the lead to the Nissan. Habich and Judd struggle on, plagued by broken engine mountings and damaged suspension parts. The pace is taking its toll on the leaders as well. Hannes is forced to replace the Sentra's front suspension struts after stage 13. While this is being done, Martin Boerter calculates their position on paper. Every second they hold over the Ford is a second closer to victory. As Enzo and Guy leave the Storms River service area and make their way to stage 14, the Nissan continues to get some serious attention. On stage 15, the state of the roads becomes obvious, and the Ford has suffered the full wrath of the bad conditions. Behind the Ford on the road, Hannes and Martin continue to stretch their lead on the scoreboard, the Nissan taking the bad conditions almost in its stride. The rough roads have also set back Chart and Cindy, a series of punctures during the earlier stages, ending their attack on the flying Toyota of Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley. Habich and Judd retire on the stage with a broken clutch, promoting the little Class C conquest into third place. The local crew of Keith Coleman and Irma Kurzer have survived the worst in their Class C Golf, and Habich's retirement promotes them to fourth place overall. Johnson and Pretorius remain the only Class D car in the rally. They are currently fifth overall, but have a charging Chart van der Walt hoping to take that place. A total of 3 Class B cars remain in the rally. Graham Nichols and Ron Billiard currently lead the class and hold 7th place overall. After a disastrous start to the Volkswagen Rally, Brady Dabner and Neil Watt have spent 2 days chasing down the field and working their way up the scoreboard. Here on stage 15, they have their sights set on Nichols and Billiard. Shredded tyres that have possibly cost Enzo and Guy their second National Rally win for the season.
We were plagued by rough stages. It's a real big disappointment to all the competitors. The stages are incredibly rough, and it puts a hell of a lot of strain on the motor cars. We've personally had 2 flat wheels costing us about 3 minutes in total, and we've just gone through the last 20k stage with only 2-wheel drive and lost a lot of oil on the front drive. Basically, just because it's so rough, the engine mountings disintegrated and the front drivetrain pulled out of the gearbox.
My gap is about 1 minute 40 seconds, and with the remaining stages, that is about 25 kilos, because I believe they've cancelled the 120 kilo stage. That's quite a big cushion, and I think we'll take it easy now and get to the end and try and win the rally.
The privateer team of Grobler and Boerter have done well to be leading this event, and stage 16 is completed without any cause for concern.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
We join them in car as they tackle the final stage around the parking area at Warmer Park in Port Elizabeth.
You're right, happen. Straight up. Left, so for the island. Left, left. Right. Down. Out.
Hannes powers the Sentra through the last few meters of the final stage and records their second National Rally victory of the season. Enzo and Guy have done well, finishing second overall, a good result after they win on the Sasol Rally. The efforts of the lower order competitors are most commendable, given the conditions and the punishment dealt out by the roads. All the classes were hard fought through the Volkswagen Rally, with the exception of Class D, which was largely unchallenged.
Thank you, guys.